increase in the position of
I've read the State Department laws on that.
dilutes that, right? So it's not, they don't have majority.
Yeah, they call it management.
But
People
do, yeah.
So we call it bringing West to
And what happens in Indonesia is it's like you're a foreigner. No matter what my mating, and no matter how good you are, they can always make violence. You can be out of it.
that's all they do in immigration.
Yeah. Yeah.
It might not be the right words, but it's like special training. There's something you can't find the people.
Or, hold on, give me the gold deal. I know she
Go to India to get these engineers. I say take it. Operators can make a case. I pay you. I just don't want to spend that day.
It's hard. There's just, with few exceptions, there's just not a lot of money in the industry, really, for extras like that. I know for myself, it's not.
Well, I mean,
Pretty thin.
You know, they're doing $25,000, $45,000, $45,000. Just let me know when you're ready for a pilot.
Yeah, they're medical guys, yeah.
You can get a guy from Venezuela. Email or
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point.
Norway. Helicopters. I get really helicopters like that all the time.
Do you really? Yeah.
They need a sponsor.
I've gotten a couple over the years from, on and off from foreign guys. Unfortunately, they're usually the ones I send to you for use in your what not to do in the resume department. Yeah. 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 He sent a couple more along with that photo. One of them was him out in the jungle somewhere in Colombia with a bunch of fart guys. And he's standing there. They've all got their AKs, and he's standing there. I'm like, come on, man. I can't imagine what else they were doing. Counting endangered species in the rainforest, maybe? I don't know.
So if it comes off, that may happen in the next few months. But we've got the local contingent to work on. The local ones don't want it because they seem to have they don't actually see the other
Have you met my husband before?
Ladies and gentlemen, our program is beginning. Please take your seats and direct your attention to the stage.
It's a little bit up in the air at the moment. I'm here with Louise. She's coming over tonight. So maybe we'll come to you can say hi. We met her at She's basically
it's always good to get in one day before things really start moving. So, as we've done in normal tradition, we like to kick things off on Monday night. I know there's a lot of things going on, but we're going to go ahead and get this show going because we've got a big evening ahead and we've got a big event at 7:30. So, thank you very much for coming by, and we're going to kick things off. Nicole.
Ladies and gentlemen, Helicopter Association International Chair, Nicole Batches.
Welcome, and thank you for joining us today. We're honoring a very special group of people tonight whose achievements stand out within our industry. Before we begin to honor our award recipients, I need to recognize a few others who have joined us for this celebration this evening. I ask that you stand when I acknowledge you. First responders, as well as past and present members of the military. past board chairs. All right. Also, a couple of special guests we have with us this evening. We've got Pete Bunce from the General Aviation Manufacturers Association, Angelo Collins from the Vertical Flight Society, Tom Judge from Life Flight of Maine, Tim Rolfe, Heli Offshore, Michael Graham from the NTSB, and Frederick Kemp from European Helicopter Association. If you could please stand.
Ed Boland is also in the crowd, so thanks,
Oh,
Ed.
Ed! Aloha, welcome. I'd like to also recognize our award sponsors who support our goal to recognize the extraordinary efforts by the men and women working in our industry. Most of these sponsors have been with us for many years, and your support of achievement is notable and deeply appreciated. Bell, sponsor of the Lifetime Achievement Award. BLR Aerospace, sponsor of our Safety Award. Hill Air Corporation, sponsor of the WA Dub Blessing Flight Instructor of the Year Award. MD Helicopters, sponsor of the Law Enforcement Award. Rolls-Royce, sponsor of the Maintenance Award. And finally, Sikorsky, a Lockheed Martin company, sponsor of the Humanitarian Service Award. Now, please allow me to introduce you to Jim Viola, President and CEO of HAI.
Thanks, Nicole. And I want to thank all our guests for joining us tonight. This year's show is packed with big news and exciting news, and we appreciate that you joined us today. I want to start by addressing the specific phrase related to the Salute to Excellence Award program. HAI prefers to identify the people we are honoring tonight as recipients. In most cases, any person nominated for an award has distinguished themselves enough that someone noticed and made the effort to recognize them for their achievement. Their selection process that we go through is very seldom an easy one, simply because of the high caliber of the people who are nominated. So consistently, we find it difficult to say that not only the recipients are winners, but honestly, it is the whole industry that is winners for the true work that was done by the selectee. We are now going to proceed with the videos of our recipients, pausing between each video to take photos, and the recipients will be joining us on stage for photos.
Helicopter Association International proudly presents the Salute to Excellence Matthew S. Tuccaro Land and Live Award, sponsored by HAI. This award recognizes outstanding aeronautical decision-making, crew resource management, and/or coordinated actions performed by helicopter pilots, flight crew members, or maintenance personnel during the year. On the afternoon of September 24th, 2022, Captains Steve Bahagiar and David Sidorsky were flying 4 passengers in a Bristow Group Leonardo AW-139 to Houma, Louisiana, from an offshore oil platform. When the flight was about 7 minutes away from the airport, the crew heard a loud woof sound and saw thick smoke coming from the overhead circuit breaker panel. Smoke immediately filled the cockpit. Simultaneously, the low rotor RPM warning alarm sounded. Both engines began racing, and the aircraft started to climb rapidly. Steve, the pilot in command for the flight, fully lowered the collective as he fought to bring RPM back and maintain aircraft control as David broke the door window to clear the smoke from the cabin. The engines were racing at 140% torque as rotor RPM slowly returned to 100%. Even with collective full down and nose level, the aircraft was in a 1,700 feet per minute climb. The aircraft climbed from 3,500 to almost 7,000 feet in the span of a few minutes. Knowing the aircraft needed to reduce power, Steve asked David to idle engine 1 to see if that helped. David did so, and the rotor RPM immediately deteriorated to 80%. He rapidly brought it back, and RPM slowly returned to 100%. During that maneuver, however, the aircraft had descended 1,000 feet. With no other options seemingly apparent, Steve nosed the aircraft forward in an attempt to lose altitude. The helicopter sped up to more than 186 knots, well beyond maximum speed, as Steve flew in a large, gradual spiral to descend. Once lined up for the runway, Steve and David decided to bring engine 2 to idle in an attempt to perform an auto-rotation. The rotor RPM immediately plummeted to 67% before returning with full engine power. Now, knowing the aircraft could still fly at 67% RPM, Steve and David elected to exchange RPM for altitude by throttling back the engines and immediately powering back up repeatedly to descend. The two pilots continued the maneuver, nosing over toward the end to lose the last several feet. The helicopter touched down at what Steve believes was about 60 knots. Both main landing gear wheels collapsed while the aircraft skidded 800 feet down the runway before sliding 15 feet into the grass and stopping. Later, the NTSB determined the incident began after incorrectly routed wiring chafed, caught fire, and caused the upper carbon fiber collective torque tube to melt and rotate, leaving the rotor blades in a full pitch position, even when the collective was down. The incident, while harrowing, highlights the significance of exemplary pilot training, the importance of teamwork under duress, and the ability to make strategic decisions during crisis situations. Throughout the entire incident, the pilots continued to fly the aircraft to a safe landing. Please join the HAI Board of Directors in saluting Steve Bahagiar and David Sidorsky, recipients of the Helicopter Association International proudly presents the Salute to Excellence Communications Award. This award is given to the individual or organization achieving the most creative and distinct dissemination of information about the vertical aviation industry. Brian Matuski grew up in a creative household. His mother was a photographer who regularly took photos and planned and filmed skits for her kids. Later, Brian's older brother taught him about video editing, lighting, and art interpretation. In high school, Brian made a video that so impressed the school that the administration hired him to create a promotional video of their own. He also filmed local sports, all while considering his video work to be just a fun side hobby. Then, word got out about his skills, and people kept recommending Brian for new projects. It wasn't long before he realized he could turn his hobby into a career. Brian formed his own business in 2006 and worked on a variety of projects, including his own cable television show, interdisciplinary art films at Arizona State University and Colorado's Sangre de Cristo Art Center, and religious icon videos for the Episcopal Diocese. Brian's dad loved aviation and often took his children to the airport on weekends to have breakfast and watch aircraft come and go. That exposure to aviation early in his life made it natural for Brian to say yes when helicopter flight training company Guidance Aviation asked him to produce a promotional video. Brian's first assignment for Guidance Aviation led to training videos, followed by an offer of full-time work. While at Guidance, Brian created an online training school for uncrewed aerial systems and developed a maneuvers guide app for Robinson helicopters. It was in the Guidance booth at HAI Heli Expo 2013 where Brian met Rotor Pro magazine editor-in-chief Lynn Burks. Burks initially hired Brian to make a few videos and eventually offered him a position to assemble the entire bi-monthly magazine, in addition to creating videos to accompany each issue. Today, Brian designs 6 English language and 2 Spanish language editions of Rotor Pro each year, having helped publish more than 6,000 pages since he started. Brian has produced over 130 helicopter industry-specific videos that have accumulated nearly 2 million views online, as well as 80-plus educational, training, and safety-related videos for various vertical flight organizations around the world. After a decade with Rotor Pro, what stands out to Brian the most is how his work shines a positive light on all facets of the industry. Brian's video narratives take viewers on immersive journeys, allowing them to perceive the intricacies of vertical flight operations from unique and She's been instrumental in enabling countless operators to share their stories with the wider vertical aviation community and beyond. Please join the HAI Board of Directors in saluting Brian Matuski, recipient of the 2024 Salute to Excellence Communications Award. Helicopter Association International proudly presents the Salute to Excellence Humanitarian Service Award, sponsored by Sikorsky, a Lockheed Martin company. This award honors the person or persons who best demonstrate the value of rotorcraft to the communities in which they operate by providing aid to those in need. Employees of Oahu, Hawaii-based Rainbow Helicopters awoke on August 9, 2023, to the devastating news that a fire had destroyed the town of Lahaina, Maui. They had an immediate and overwhelming desire to do something, anything, to help their greater Maui Ohana, their Hawaiian family. Throughout the day, the team reached out through its wide-ranging network to learn what was needed. They soon received a clear message. People had left their homes with nothing, and mothers and babies in particular needed immediate assistance. Having just given birth 6 weeks earlier, Rainbow Helicopters owner and director of operations, Nicole Batches, dove into action. She sent her father-in-law and a Rainbow team member on a Costco run to buy as much formula, diapers, baby wipes, and other supplies that could fit in an Airbus AS-350 helicopter. As the two purchased over $4,000 worth of supplies, news spread among the rest of the Rainbow team. People stayed on past their shifts, and others returned to volunteer their time to aid in the humanitarian effort. Mechanics ensured the helicopter was ready to fly. Ground crew weighed loads. Operations managers planned and oversaw loading, and pilots created the flight plan. On the morning of August 11th, the helicopter flew its first relief flight to Maui, landing at Kapalua Airport, as close to Lahaina as it could safely land. Ground tour company volunteers met the helicopter with vans to unload and transport the supplies to families in need. The helicopter then flew to Maui's International Airport in Kahului, where the team loaded more supplies that couldn't get to Lahaina by ground and brought them to Kapalua. During the flights, the team saw firsthand Lahaina's complete destruction and the desperate need of its residents. They shared what they had witnessed when they returned to Oahu, inspiring more action. The Rainbow team established a GoFundMe account in hopes of raising $1,000 to purchase supplies for the residents. All told, the account raised over $76,000, 100% of which was used to purchase items for families affected by the fire. Rainbow also established a base of operations for physical donations from around Oahu, and over the next several weeks, the entire team donated hundreds of hours of off time to purchase, receive, and catalog supplies, package and weigh loads, load helicopters, and fly relief missions. In those first several weeks, Rainbow flew 13 missions to Maui, carrying more than 5,500 pounds of supplies, including 275 containers of formula, 175 cartons of diapers, 175 boxes of baby wipes, and more than 19 gallons of breast milk. Castle and Cook Aviation donated all the jet fuel, and Rainbow covered the avgas and aircraft for all the flights, which were flown in both R-44 and AS-350 helicopters. To help with distribution, Rainbow partnered with several organizations, including Northwest Mother's Milk Bank in Tigard, Oregon, and local nonprofits Keikioka Aina and Nakakeno Maui, which helped distribute the supplies and provided Rainbow with specific requests from families. Rainbow continued its efforts into the 2023 holiday season. Working with Keikioka Aina, the company provided food, gifts, and necessities to families in need. The operator also provided an aircraft to fly Santa Claus to Maui to deliver food, gifts, and necessities to children and spread holiday cheer. Please join the HAI Board of Directors in saluting Rainbow Helicopters, recipient of the 2024 Salute to Excellence Sikorsky Humanitarian Service Award. Association International proudly presents the Salute to Excellence Law Enforcement Award, sponsored by MD Helicopters. This award recognizes an individual or organization that has contributed to the promotion and advancement of rotorcraft in support of law enforcement activities. Andrew Edgerton fell in love with aviation at an early age. He spent hours flying airplanes with his dad and originally hoped to be a naval aviator until he learned in high school that he had less than perfect eyesight. He continued to fly nonetheless, earning his single-engine land and sea airplane ratings in his early 20s before switching to helicopters. Working at a desk job in the telecom industry, Andrew built his helicopter ratings to include commercial, instrument, flight instructor, and instrument instructor ratings. He began teaching flight instruction in helicopters in 2006, teaching on weekends and evenings until he landed a full-time news helicopter job. In 2010, Andrew joined Virginia's Fairfax County Police Helicopter Division as a civilian line pilot, flying the agency's Bell 407. He was a part of the unit in 2011 when it became the first law enforcement agency and air ambulance service in the United States to use Bell 429s. When the division's chief pilot position opened in 2021, he stepped up. I love the flying we do, as no 2 days are the same, especially because of the dual services we provide the community, Andrew says. When the chief pilot position opened, I saw an opportunity to put my own business career skills to work to help strengthen the division. Andrew had his work cut out for him at the agency. When he took the position, the helicopter division was temporarily based at Manassas Regional Airport in Manassas, Virginia, where it had been since July 2020, while its heliport in Fairfax was being rebuilt. He was responsible not only for running the helicopter division from a temporary facility, but also for overseeing the immense process of designing and constructing a new heliport, and then facilitating the unit's successful relocation to the structure in 2023. The accomplishment turned out to be one of Andrew's most significant as a member of the Fairfax County team. His meticulous planning, leadership, and attention to detail ensured that the new heliport operation remained safe and uninterrupted throughout the transition. Andrew also served as the division's safety officer for 7 years before his promotion to chief pilot. In this role, he evaluated and mitigated risks associated with the unit's missions and developed plans and risk assessments to maintain safe operations. He also ensured that the agency maintained strict compliance with all aviation regulations and guidelines. Andrew credits his success to his deep belief in and passion for serving the community. Please join the HAI Board of Directors in saluting Andrew Edgerton, recipient of the 2024 Salute to Excellence MD Helicopters Law Enforcement Award. Helicopter Association International proudly presents the Salute to Excellence Golden Hour Award. This award recognizes the efforts of an individual, group, or organization that, through a particular activity or contributions over time, has advanced the use of helicopters or UAS aircraft in air medical transportation. The term golden hour is traditionally used to identify the critical first 60 minutes after a traumatic injury or onset of symptoms, when a patient must receive life-saving care for the best chance of survival. In neonatal critical care, however, there is another critical window, the golden 6 hours. Neonatal therapeutic hypothermia is a specific therapy for babies who experience a lack of oxygen and/or blood flow to the brain and other organs during labor and delivery. This therapy is administered using a water-filled cooling blanket to lower the baby's body temperature, prolonging the time before further damage can occur. On a hot summer night in July 2022, a baby was born prematurely with multiple complications at a community hospital in North Texas. With no neonatal intensive care unit at the facility, doctors made the decision to transport the baby to the Level 4 NICU at Children's Health Children's Medical Center, Dallas, all of whose ground vehicles and aircraft are equipped to support critical neonatal and pediatric needs. After receiving the call, the Children's Health Neonatal Pediatric Transport Team launched the Medical Center's Sikorsky S-76C++ from Dallas Love Field. Nicknamed Child 1, the aircraft is a dual-pilot IFR helicopter that allows patient transport in poor weather conditions when other services can't fly. During the 30-minute flight, registered nurse Alex Cross, respiratory therapist Corey Roberts, and paramedic Haley Henry pre-cooled the equipment while the community hospital team began stabilizing the baby and preparing the infant for transport. The effort of both teams allowed the transport crew to begin the cooling process by 3 a.m., well within the golden 6 hours. After arriving at the community hospital, the neonatal pediatric team quickly made the baby comfortable, initiated cooling, and began the transport process. Children's Health, meanwhile, had a cooling mechanism ready when the team arrived back at the medical center, allowing them to quickly move the baby as soon as the helicopter landed, ensuring there was no interruption in intervention therapy. Children's Health and the transport team's readiness and rapid delivery of cooling therapy was instrumental in helping the infant. This intervention has become more common for the hospital, with the team performing it roughly once a month, according to Alex Cross. This transport process is an example of the wide variety of responses the Children's Health Neonatal Pediatric Transport Team performs on any given day. Celebrating its 40th anniversary in 2023, the team transports more than 5,000 children per year. Please join the HAI Board of Directors in saluting the Children's Health Neonatal Pediatric Transport Team, recipient of the 2024 Salute to Excellence Golden Hour Award. Association International proudly presents the Salute to Excellence Safety Award, sponsored by BLR Aerospace. This award recognizes outstanding contributions in the promotion of safety and safety awareness throughout the international vertical aviation community. Rex Alexander has made significant strides in increasing safety in the vertical flight industry through patience, diplomacy, and perseverance. Rex began flying in 1985 as a helicopter pilot in the U.S. Army. He later served in the Indiana Army National Guard as a pilot, instructor pilot, and standardization instructor pilot. After serving in the military, Rex flew helicopters for the offshore oil and gas industry before becoming an air medical helicopter pilot with Omniflight Helicopters. Over the next 2 decades as an air ambulance pilot, Rex became a force for safety. He joined the Indiana Association of Air Medical Services and the National EMS Pilots Association. He served as a board member and president of both organizations, advocating for increased safety in the helicopter air medical industry. A desire to save lives motivates Rex. Early in his career, he lost many friends in preventable military and EMS accidents. He has dedicated his life to identifying the causes of and factors involved in helicopter accidents, educating the industry about them, and working to eliminate them. Rex began to develop heliports while working in the helicopter EMS and HEMS industry. While assisting hospitals, he learned how to identify safety issues surrounding heliport standards, building codes, fire codes, and pilot education. With this knowledge, Rex advocated for increased safety across the industry. In 2006, he worked with colleagues at the National EMS Pilots Association to develop the HEMS weather tool. The following year, Rex became co-chair of the U.S. Helicopter Safety Team's Infrastructure Working Group. In 2013, Rex collaborated with the National Center for Atmospheric Research to hold a joint industry-government summit that led to full funding for the HEMS weather tool and the tool's establishment under the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration's Aviation Weather Center. Since then, Rex and members of the U.S. HST Infrastructure Working Group have hosted 8 summits dedicated to advancing helicopter safety and improving low-altitude aviation infrastructure. Heliport and vertiport safety remain a key passion for Rex. Today, he is an infrastructure advisor to the Vertical Flight Society, a member of NASA's Advanced Air Mobility Ecosystem Working Groups, and chair of the National Fire Protection Association's Helicopter Facilities Technical Committee. Rex is also an instructor for the U.S. Department of Transportation's Transportation Safety Institute, teaching heliport evaluation, planning, and safety courses, as well as an advanced rotorcraft accident investigation class. What helps drive Rex to continue advocating for safe helicopter operations is knowing that system safety is a shared responsibility. Every day, pilots operate in a safer environment due to his work. Please join the HAI Board of Directors in saluting Rex Alexander, recipient of the 2024 Salute to Excellence BLR Aerospace Safety Award. Helicopter Association International proudly presents the Salute to Excellence Helicopter Maintenance Award, sponsored by Rolls-Royce. This award recognizes an individual for long-standing excellence in rotorcraft maintenance, instruction or supervision, or a single significant contribution to rotorcraft maintenance. Michael Yip's career began in 1977 when he enrolled as an apprentice to obtain a certificate of aircraft maintenance from Australia's government-run technical and further education program in Sydney. Since then, he has built a career spanning more than 40 years that includes serving as a licensed aircraft maintenance engineer, an A&P mechanic, chief engineer, maintenance controller, head of aircraft maintenance control, and director of maintenance. In 2009, Michael joined Becker Helicopter Services, and over the past decade plus, he has developed a reputation across the rotorcraft industry for his maintenance and management skills, as well as his ability to strengthen teams and increase safety margins. Michael has achieved these feats while overseeing a team of more than 50 full-time engineers and maintaining a fleet of 20 Bell 206 Jet Rangers. He has also achieved a remarkable 98% availability rate under Australia's IFR and night vision imaging system standards. Among Michael's standout accomplishments, says Becker Helicopters co-founder, chief pilot, and executive director Mike Becker, is his innovative way of strengthening relationships between pilots and engineers. Michael has designed programs that cross-train staff members and facilitate increased direct interactions, which have led to a more cohesive, efficient, and safer working environment. Michael's contributions to the Becker Helicopter Services team include a monthly pilot maintenance program that culminates in a company barbecue to help foster a sense of community and open communication among all staff members. He has also organized in-house safety programs and industry-wide safety initiatives. His proactive approach to safety management systems, SMSs, includes encouraging his staff to actively contribute to the company's SMS program, which helps foster a culture in which safety is a collective responsibility. On the regulatory front, Michael has been a voice of reason and an agent for positive change. He has worked with local and international regulatory bodies to help fine-tune the wording and intent of regulations. This work has resulted in amendments to existing rules and regulations, making him a true industry influencer. Michael also takes very seriously his role as a mentor to the next generation of aviation professionals. He has trained 10 apprentices over the past decade. Some of these apprentices have gone on to start their own aviation businesses, attesting to the quality of training and mentorship they received under Michael's guidance. When not overseeing Becker's maintenance program, advocating for his team, or mentoring youths, Michael is dedicated to his family, and that extends to his professional life in the form of celebrating staff achievements, recognizing performance, and encouraging a culture that champions work-life balance. Please join the HAI Board of Directors in saluting Michael Yip, recipient of the 2024 Salute to Excellence Rolls-Royce Maintenance Award. Helicopter Association International proudly presents the Salute to Excellence Excellence Pilot of the Year Award. This award recognizes an outstanding single feat performed by a helicopter pilot or UAS aircraft pilot during the past 3 years, or for extraordinary professionalism over time. Michael Sagely, a senior pilot of the Los Angeles County Fire Department in California, has displayed extraordinary professionalism, leadership, and skill throughout his career. Michael learned to fly helicopters in the U.S. Army in 1984. He joined the branch in his mid-20s after having been a Division I All-American athlete in men's volleyball at San Diego State University and having briefly played on the Olympic team. After enlisting in the military, he was accepted into flight school, aced Warrant Officer Candidate School as a distinguished graduate, and was an honor graduate from Primary Flight School, flying the Sikorsky UH-60 Blackhawk. Upon assignment to the Army's 82nd Airborne Division, Michael progressed rapidly and was selected for the instructor pilot course before becoming a CW2. During his 22 years in the Army, Michael served in the 1990-91 Gulf War and later was accepted into the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, Airborne, where he flew elite special combat missions in multiple aircraft types. He is the recipient of 7 Air Medals and a Bronze Star for his actions in multiple combat operations. Upon his military retirement, Michael worked as a contract fire pilot for the Angeles National Forest Rappel Helitack crew. He then worked for the Santa Barbara County Fire Department in California, where he became the first pilot in the unit's history to conduct night vision goggles snorkel operations. Michael credits his success during those first 3 years of aerial firefighting to his Army flying experience, managing multiple radios for air and ground assets, flying in combat situations, using night vision goggles, and performing precision operations transferred well to wildland firefighting missions. Michael joined the LA County Fire Department in 2009 as a pilot. His leadership skills and talents led to his promotion to senior pilot in less than 2 years. He has since earned 2 Valor Awards from the department and 3 Rescue Awards from Sikorsky for heroism for his part in multiple rescues and other life-saving missions. Michael attributes his success as a pilot and leader to incredible mentorship. He takes mentorship seriously today, choosing people to mentor who are willing to step outside their comfort zones and grow. While he attributes many of his current skills to having conducted specialized flight operations in the Army, Michael's passion is making the LA County Fire Department's air operations better. He believes in the concept of leaving a place better off than when first walking in the door, by striving to improve everything from adjusting attitudes and work approaches to creating better processes and procedures. Michael has been able to help everything run more efficiently and safely at the LA County Fire Department. He has indeed left every agency in which he's been a team member better than when he found it. Please join the HAI Board of Directors in saluting Michael Sagely, recipient of the 2024 Salute to Excellence Pilot of the Year. Association International proudly presents the Salute to Excellence Lifetime Achievement Award, sponsored by Bell. This award salutes excellence in management and leadership and is granted to an individual for long and significant service to the international vertical aviation community. Anthony Tony Cosumano's long and storied career has helped influence the future of the helicopter industry. Tony's career began in February 1956 when he watched Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz arrive in a Bell 47 for the world premiere of Forever Darling in Ball's hometown of Jamestown, New York. It was the first time he'd seen a helicopter flying, and the wonder of the experience made a lasting impression on him. While attending the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, Tony joined the school's aviation club and learned how to fly airplanes. However, helicopters captivated him the most. Tony was one of a few helicopter pilot candidates accepted into the U.S. Army Flight School, earning his helicopter wings in 1963. He deployed to Vietnam the following year to support South Vietnamese fighters from the air during the Vietnam War, flying armed Bell UH-1 B helicopters with the Cobra platoon of the 114th Aviation Company. After leaving the Army in 1966, following an eventful flying career that included several close calls, Tony returned to New York and continued to pursue his passion for flying. Chesapeake and Potomac Airways hired him to fly AT&T underground right-of-way cables in a Bell 47. In 1968, he founded Deck Air Helicopters with two partners. The company expanded quickly, offering utility, flight training, and charter services in the New York City area and beyond. One of Tony's more memorable experiences in the early years of Deck Air Helicopters was providing aerial support for the Woodstock Music and Art Fair in 1969, transporting organizers, performers, and medical teams. That job helped boost the company's profile, leading to a police contract, new utility contracts outside of the state, movie shoots, a large oil exploration contract in Peru, and support missions for multiple rescue operators. During that time, Tony also formed the Helicopter Emergency Lift Program, or HELP, to assist local agencies with helicopter support at no cost to the community. After selling his shares in Deck Air Helicopters in 1978, Tony accepted a management position with Envirogas in Buffalo, New York. He also formed media company Metro Media's Helicopter Operations Unit, and later the helicopter program and insurance giant AIG. In addition, Tony was involved in the early stages of developing the Augusta Westland AW139 by chairing a worldwide customer advisory board at HAI's Heli Expo. After retiring from AIG in 2007, Tony took a position helping bring AW139 and A109 series helicopters, now produced by Leonardo, from factory acceptance to the completion, sales, and delivery stages. He also started another company, International Aircraft Purchase and Lease, to provide consulting and pilot services. Tony says his passion keeps him completely immersed in the industry, where he remains involved 60 years after first seeing a helicopter in the air. Please join the HAI Board of Directors in saluting Tony Casamano, recipient of the 2024 Salute to Excellence Bell Lifetime Achievement Award.
So, as you may be aware, Del Blessing passed away in January. Tonight, Mr. Perot will begin by offering remarks honoring Del Blessing, and then he will join us in recognizing the WA Del Blessing Flight Instructor of the Year Award. Mr. Perot.
Jim, thank you. 39 years ago, I was at HAI and we established the Dub Blessing Award. It's hard to believe 39 years have passed. Dub was a great friend, a tremendous aviator, and Dub taught me how to fly in 1981. In 1981, he had the courage and the patience to spend a lot of time with me. And prior to that, he was training Vietnam pilots at Fort Walters. And he had a huge impact on my life. In 1982, we decided to fly around the world. Jay and I decided to do the trip, and Dub Blessing was the one that managed that trip. Dub then came on board with us full time. And when we started the Alliance Airport project, Dub was with us. And Dub was a great helicopter pilot and a great instructor. But if you're in the real estate business, Dub was an outstanding real estate salesman. And every client we had in Alliance, well over 500 clients, they knew Dub Blessing. And Dub gave them the tour and showed them what we could do from a real estate perspective. And he was a great part of our team. And Dub established our culture, our aviation culture. Chet Bart's with us today, president of Hill Air. And Dub was a Marine prior to becoming an Army aviator. And so every helicopter pilot we now have has been a Marine. Bill Forrest followed Dub, and now Gary Maddox, also with us tonight, followed Dub. And so our helicopter department has been a very special part of our company, of our family, and of our community, and all the additional charity work we do with our aircraft. And so I'm very honored to be with you, to honor Dub Blessing, and thank you for continuing, Jim, this great honor for Dub. And I know, I mean, Catherine, here's Catherine. She will carry on that spirit of Dub Blessing. His optimism, his courage, his integrity, his friendship, in his always very positive and optimistic manner. And he will be truly missed. Jim, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Pearl. I really appreciate the opportunities. I wish I had time to spend with Dub Blessing. You know, flight instructors often don't get the recognition and the importance they deserve for teaching us all to fly, and also for the keeping us safe with flight safety and getting the aeronautical decision making that you needed to get around the world. That certainly we need today to keep people from flying from VFR to IFR, which is totally, you know, we need to eliminate that stuff. So to continue, we're ready for our next video.
Helicopter Association International proudly presents the Salute to Excellence WA Dub Blessing Flight Instructor of the Year Award, sponsored by Hill Air Corporation. This award recognizes superlative contributions by a helicopter flight instructor or a UAS flight instructor in upholding high standards of professionalism. Catherine Cathy Press is a pioneer in not only flight instruction, but also in the entire Canadian helicopter industry. She began flying her dad's float plane at 11 years of age, soloing her first airplane at 16. Her father purchased a Bell 47 and started Chinook Helicopters in 1983. Cathy learned to fly that helicopter, and on her 17th birthday, she earned private licenses in both airplanes and helicopters. At the time, she was one of only half a dozen female helicopter pilots in Canada. Cathy gained business and customer service experience working at Chinook Helicopters, and when she earned her commercial licenses in airplanes and helicopters, she began flying for the family business too, performing charters, electronic news gathering, aerial survey, search and rescue, and forestry missions. At age 21, she completed her airplane flight instructor rating, and in 1997, at age 27, she earned her helicopter flight instructor rating, becoming Canada's first female helicopter flight instructor. Cathy dove headfirst into flight instructing, teaching up to 1,200 hours a year as she helped build Chinook Helicopters into one of the country's largest flight schools. A passionate learner, she studied for and earned her ratings from the United States, China, and the European Union Aviation Safety Agency, EASA. Today, Cathy, who has given more than 10,000 hours of flight instruction time, is the only person in Canada to hold Transport Canada pilot examiner status in both airplanes and helicopters. She has received Canada's David Charles Abramson Memorial Flight Instructor Safety Award in recognition of her achievements achievements. And in 2021, she was awarded an honorary Doctorate of Technology through the University of the Fraser Valley in British Columbia. In addition to flying, Kathy built Chinook helicopters from a 3-aircraft school to a 16-helicopter, 14-airplane professional flight training academy. She also pulled together a team for the school to develop and receive Transport Canada approval to build 4 in-house flight training devices. A move she says saved the company tens of thousands of dollars over purchasing the devices. Kathy also gives back to the aviation community. She is currently Vice Chair of the Helicopter Association of Canada's Board of Directors and Chair of the Association's Flight Training Committee. Kathy is also a board member for the British Columbia Aviation Council and a past board member of the International Women's Forum. She also serves on the British Columbia Institute of Technology's Aviation Advisory Committee and remains deeply involved in student mentorship programs. Kathy always wanted to be a teacher, and being surrounded by aviation, she made becoming a flight instructor the perfect combination of her 2 passions. She never had the desire to move on to other commercial helicopter work. She says she stays in instruction because she enjoys seeing and being a part of her students' successes. Please join the HAI Board of Directors in saluting Catherine Press, recipient of the 2024 Salute to Excellence WA Dove Blessing Flight Instructor of the Year Award.
One more award for this evening, and it's HAI's newest Salute to Excellence Award. The Harold Summers Award honors the career and dedication focus of former HAI employer Harold Summers. To say that Harold made an impact on industry is a true understatement. Harold was both a pilot and an AMP mechanic. He was a manager and a safety advocate. As you see in this award, in the video, it's just a moment. Harold's impact was noticeable by those who worked with him and felt all who worked around him in our industry today. When he passed away in October of 2021, HAI received many requests to honor his contributions to our industry and just as many suggestions for the method of honoring him. Ultimately, we went to the Technical and Maintenance Working Group and they recommended to the board create a new award that recognized people like Harold that work to make our industry better. So like the other Salute Awards, this new award will recognize achievement. The award will also reflect Harold's deep commitment to improving all areas of our industry. HAI's board agreed with the Technical and Maintenance Working Group, so this award is added to our program, and future nominees for this award will be open to anyone making a positive difference in our industry. In Harold's honor, HAI will be the official sponsor of this award now and for the future. To further acknowledge Harold's support for our industry, the Technical and Maintenance Working Group also recommended that the first recipient of this award be the person who provided unwavering support for Harold. This, of course, is Chulene Summers.
Helicopter Association International proudly presents the Salute to Excellence Harold Summers Legacy Award, sponsored by HAI. This award is given to an individual for outstanding contribution and selfless service to the worldwide vertical lift industry.
Harold was such a large figure within the helicopter industry that the Technical and Maintenance Working Group, the working group that Harold was a staff liaison for and oversaw for many years, thought that it was appropriate to have such an award to present to those people who emulate Harold's character and professionalism.
He was a fixed-wing pilot. He was a pilot of rotorcraft. I mean, the man was multi-talented.
But his passion was maintenance. He truly believed in aircraft maintenance. He believed in mechanics and technicians.
He kind of treated us as if we knew we were the unsung heroes. We were the guys that kept the pilots alive. And he made sure that we felt proud of who we were and what we did.
Harold just meant so much to the industry in so many different facets. I know from a maintenance background, but he actually impacted my life personally before I even met him. I applied for the Bill Sanderson Scholarship, and Harold and the other working group members at the time selected me. And that's really what led for me getting into helicopters as opposed to going on the big swing.
Harold was instrumental in using HUMS and implementing HUMS into the entire aviation business. His vision, his strategy of how we need to get into predictive maintenance is really where we need to focus our efforts. And Harold had that and started driving our change in our company to invest in HUMS to get predictive maintenance, provide safe, reliable transportation.
He worked with high schools and technical colleges to develop aviation-specific programs. He just spent a lot of time trying to develop the next generation.
He was impressive in what he knew and who he knew, and the command, the respect that he commanded when he walked into the room, especially with the FAA.
I think Harold Summers' legacy is he was a consummate professional. He was dedicated to the industry. He loved personal relationships. He loved fostering those relationships that he built over the years.
But the thing that impressed me was he always remembered my name. He never forgot, never went, I think I know you type of a thing, He always remembered my name.
So I look forward, that's who I want to be in 20 years. I want to be Harold Summers. That's how I want to be looked upon and remembered when I leave the industry as well and go into retirement.
He needs to be remembered, and I think that keeping his name and what he has done alive, we will also be able to recognize other people that kind of aspire to emulate what Harold brings to the industry.
Jolene supported Harold for many years. She was a huge supporter of HAI, and it's only appropriate that the first recipient of the award in Harold's honor is Jolene Summers.
Please join the HAI Board of Directors in saluting Jolene Summers, recipient of the 2024 Salute to Excellence Harold Summers Legacy Award.
I'd like to recognize our award sponsors. Not everyone was able to join us today, but if you're here, please stand and allow us to show us your appreciation. And again, congratulations to all those we have recognized today. I'd like to ask our recipients to stand one more time so that we can offer one final round of applause for their amazing efforts. Thank you again for joining us for this special evening. We are holding tonight's welcome reception in the Convention Center Arena. I now invite you to join us in a brief walk across to the venue. If you haven't already heard, we are going to make a very significant announcement tonight at about 7:30 p.m. And I sincerely hope each of you will be able to join us for this exciting news. Thank you, everyone.